So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to launch this thing just like normal way we launch this now. So go to the file, then source, go, next, click on the C, then next, go to this direction, give it a name. I'm going to call it my while loop, my while loop, my while. I'm going to save this guy, click on finish, and I'm back to this. So I needed to type this thing here. So here I'm going to have including the file. I have to include the file, and that file is going to be standard input and output. I hope. So I'm going to create the main method here for C. While loop work, just like what I explained before, that while loop, its job is just to repeat something. Here now, to keep repeating, inserting a particular code, like forever, like you want it to return it forever. If you want it to return it forever, you don't need to terminate. You don't need to put a condition that will make the while loop true. I mean false. Like you have this, you need a condition that will make it condition that will make it true. So here will be the code I want to repeat, code that would be repeated. These are the code that needs to be repeated. So there are times you needed to repeat some certain code. Loop help you to repeat code as many times as possible, as in execute a code as many times as possible. Is to keep executing that code many times. So according to the number of times you want to write them. So it's good. One thing about the while loop is good. You set a definite number of times you want this thing to be looped. You know, you set it, and you need to make sure that those things, like for instance, let's say I have A. Let's find a condition that was going to be true. What? Give me one condition that was going to be true that make this thing true. Okay, let's, like, for instance, let's create a variable that has a number like a is equal to 20, right? In B is equal to 30. Okay. Is there any other? You should leave it like this or what? Okay. Right. C is equal to 40. Okay. So A is less than B, and B less than C. You know, this is now a compound statement. It's a compound statement you form now. So if you look at this now, you are giving the code now this time around. You are telling the code that this thing will be what? Will be true before this code get repeated or get executed as many times as possible. So if this is true, what is the code I want to repeat? I want to repeat, for instance, I can say I want to repeat, I have here. Here. if you observe, if I run this, something will happen. It will run in continuously without stopping. Because whenever you are creating a while loop, it's very important of you that condition you set should be false at a time so that it doesn't continue forever. So what is the condition we can set? So we want to make this thing that one of these conditions to be false. One of these things has to be false. At where do we make it false? It has to be false inside this place. We want to make sure that it's false inside this place. So what do we do? A is less than B and B is less than C. They are all true. What if you can you tell me what we can do to inside this place such that
You can be adding like value of value of 2 to the to 8 so that after some time it will become more than 30.
okay, we can be adding 2 to this, right?
Yes.
And to add 2 to this thing, to add 2 to A, it means that we have to increase, you understand?
Yes.
So how do we increase?
A plus equals to 2.
2. Yes. We increase it. Okay, good. That is good observation. Yes, it's true. Because you find out that there will be a time
There will be more than 30.
A will no longer
Be
less than B. Yes, no. So at that stage, that's when this printf will be stopped. So let's run this. I hope it doesn't crash my system. Okay, let me put new line there so that it will be one sentence per line. Line. We get it now. I run this now. You see it now. I'm here. So we're able to set it because A has now become it's increasing. It's good A increase so that at any time A become reduced. You get it now. Then there can be another way we can make not just we increasing something, we can also make it like putting something that is there, like we can say while A is equal to, look at it, we have another A, while A is equal to 20, we know A is actually equal to 20, it's the same as 20. This is now. This will run. What will prevent it from running is going to be this guy. How many times do you think this thing is going to run?
Just
Once. Because when it's after it's discovered that this A is 20, it print this guy. And it will come to this place. Then it will now increase to 22. So and we know that 22 is never the same as 20. This is now. So we now know that we have what? Terminated. Now, another way we can get this thing terminated is instead of we having a fixed number like this, we can ask the user to type the number. Type the number.
So like accepting
from the user, we can tell them to type that number. So we'll say, how do we tell them? First, we have to tell them first, you understand? To tell them what to type. Please enter
value the value of it.
value. Let's say just our mission is just okay, enter the value of A, right?
Yes, sir.
Of A. Okay. Or please press 1. Please press 1 to cancel. Or type 1 to cancel. This is cancel. Scan F. Hit D. maybe let me call it cancel. I'll create a variable and I will call it cancel. I'll create a variable. Let's call it in and save it. Call it cancel. This is now. So that cancel. Save it now. So now that cancel is what? Okay. That cancel. We're expecting them to press 1, Abby? Where cancel is not equal to is not equal to 1, Abby? I mean, you know why cancel is not equal to 1. Do you see what I did now? If you observe, we are saying let's put 0 here first, or any number that is not equal to 1. Let us put this. Now notice that this thing will be false at this moment. This is true, right? It's actually true. Now the only time, can you tell me the only time when this thing is going to be false?
When the value under the variable cancel increases to more than 1. Not
Yes.
equal to 1, or once, maybe when it increases to 1.
Let me get to it again. Yes.
I mean, you said like now the value under the variable cancel is 0 now.
You know, at this moment now, the value under this thing is 0,
Yes, sir.
and 0 is not equal to 1. Have you?
Yes, sir. So
And for
if
that
the
reason,
value,
you know, this is true at this moment, right?
yes, sir.
So, under what condition does this thing become false?
When cancel is equal to 1.
When cancel is equal to 1. Get it now?
Yes, sir.
And you have instructed them to press 1
So,
cancel, and this is that one they put here will be the one that is going to stop the loop. You see it now? You see that, so that you'll be able to know that they'll know when to cancel. You get it now? So for this place, look at this. This only run once. This guy only run once. You get it now? So otherwise, so for that reason, you see, we have to bring in this thing here. How to bring it through? Yeah, so that it will keep repeating this line. Let me take all this thing. Now. These are the code that this thing is going to repeat. As far as this thing is true. Because if you don't put it inside, it only, this thing will only show once. Like, let me take it off and run it. Look at, you see something I'm trying to explain. Now let's say I have this now. You see this now. And I run this. Now press 1 to cancel. And I not press 1. Let me say 2. Do you see something? Press 1 to cancel. You see the idea now? That it did not bring this press 1 to cancel again. Rather, it was just repeating this one. So the actual one, so that we wanted to repeat this one together so that we can easily press our 1 again to allow us to press that same one. not just once. Yeah, now so you want to repeat this line of code. Okay, we needed to repeat this line of code. So press 1 to cancel. So all this line will be repeated as far as this thing is true. And you know the only condition where it's going to be false is when they press 1. This will be repeated. So let's run. You can see press 1. You see that press 1 is still there. You can see that this time around it's not going to run infinite like the other one. So do 1 here and here. You see that one has cancelled now. You guys know it has cancelled. You no longer need to. But if I didn't press 1, you know that time I pressed 2 that time, right? If I press 2, you see it allows you to press 7, press 9, press 20. You can see it's still repeating that until you press that one. You know that one is our condition for terminating. You press 1, it should not cancel. Cancel that one. So that is you must put something that the user has to see to make sure that it's working.
So can you really explain to me that if and else condition, like the way we use it?
Now, if an else statement inside the while loop or what ordinary while ordinary the if statement is, for instance, let me use that same int. Don't forget if statements also have a condition. Int a. The syntax for if statement is if something is true, condition is true, execute this code. Here. Else code here codes that are here get executed when the condition above is false. So the condition here is true. The code here gets executed. If this condition is false, the code here gets executed. So let's try to see something that will make it true. Like I say int a is 20, int b is maybe like 10. Now let's set up a condition that makes this thing true. So to set up the condition, we say, what is the condition that can make this if true here now? A is greater than B. Now look at this now. We are saying this, if this thing is true, that is the only time this code will run. So let's type one code that has to be run, that has to be executed. So one of them is just to use printf here as a code. So we say this code actually run. This code actually run. Yeah, we're saying okay. Write something here. Another code. Let's say printf. This code runs when the above is false. The above is false. Answer that now. You run this now, you see it's only one that will run. When this thing is true, this one gets wrong and this one gets shown wrong. So to run this guy, we say what we have there is this code actually wrong. Actually wrong. Meaning that the one here, because this is true, this is the code that actually wrong. And so once this one of the code, once this if here runs, it's ignored the one for the else. You get it now? It will ignore the one for the else, so it's only work with that of the if. That is if it is true. Well, if this is false, let's make this thing false. What under what condition can this be false?
A is equal to B.
So when A is equal to B, good. A is equal to B. Notice that these are our own kind of equal. So if you run this guy now, you see this code runs when the above is false. It runs once this thing is false. Answer that now. So that's how it works.